Hi, my name is Dan York. I'm a retired Major General from the Army, and I am a Place for Moms expert military advisor on all things related to veteran benefits. I've served with the Army for 36 years. I commissioned from West Point in 1981 as an infantry officer and served with the 101st for 5 years before transitioning into 31 years with the reserves. I love helping veterans find out about benefits that they can receive after they become eligible. One of the biggest problems our veteran community faces is just lack of awareness of what benefits are available to them. To be specific, I spoke to a 4-star classmate. That's as high as you can get in the Army as a general, and he'd never heard of them. And that's pretty common, sadly. The Veterans Administration was established in 1989 through the work of President Ronald Reagan. And he made it a cabinet-level executive department, which gave veterans direct help from the president and down. So the VA pension is a monthly benefit that veterans may receive. If a veteran is enrolled, then the money that they receive from the VA pension is deposited into their account on a monthly basis. And if they're deceased, then it goes into their dependents account. The VA pension is great for veterans because it pays for things like home care, adult daycare, board and care, assisted living, skilled nursing care, and memory care. And there are several criteria that determine whether a veteran is eligible or not. First of all, they have to be 65 or older. The second criteria that they may meet is that they have a permanent and total disability. A third is that they receive supplemental security income. The fourth is that they receive Social Security disability insurance. And then the fifth would be that they reside in a nursing home. Those would be the key things. And if they meet one of those, then they may be eligible to receive VA pension assistance. There are also service requirements. If a veteran has served for 90 days on active duty, and one of those days was during wartime conflict, then that would meet the service requirement. And then there is a financial stipulation. If a person's finances are too high, then they're just not going to be eligible. So those are some of the criteria that are looked at by the VA in determining whether a veteran is eligible to receive their VA pension. The housebound benefit applies specifically to a veteran who requires in-home care because of a permanent disability. The easiest way to break that down for most people to understand is now we're talking about a medical condition where a veteran is permanently disabled. They're in a serious situation where they cannot leave home. If a veteran is in that situation, they may be eligible for this housebound allowance. It's not necessarily easy to receive. It's more complex and more complicated to get that benefit, but it's definitely something worth looking into. The housebound allowance awards a veteran a disability benefit that's beyond what they were receiving help for before. Housebound allowance is deposited directly into a veteran's account, just as with the veteran's pension, on a monthly basis. And if the veteran is deceased, then it goes into their dependents account. Housebound allowance can be used for certain types of senior care needs or home modification. And there are several criteria that determine whether a veteran is eligible or not. In order to receive the housebound allowance, a veteran must qualify first for their veteran pension. And then second, there's a service disability and financial calculus that's made. They must have a service-rated disability of 100% or a permanent disability combined with another disability that's rated at 60%. Let me talk for a moment about how the VA calculates what a veteran is paid. So what happens is the VA takes the maximum annual pension rate and they subtract from that your annual income, and that's what your yearly amount would be. And you just divide that by 12 to get what you would be paid on a monthly basis. I would not recommend trying to calculate an MAPR by a veteran or by their loved ones on their own. It's pretty complicated. So this is where you would get assistance from the VA in determining exactly what that amount is. It's too hard to calculate on your own. It's important for a veteran to understand that they cannot combine aid and attendance benefits with a housebound allowance. You either get one or the other, but not both. Let's say that you're a veteran or the dependent of a veteran, and you know that you need assistance. The best thing to do is to contact the Veterans Administration. If I was a veteran and I needed housebound allowance, first of all, I have to qualify for the veteran pension. Second, I need to contact the Veterans Administration and talk to one of their experts, and they will help me through the process. And to do that, you're going to need the right documentation. So medically, your medical records, whatever is appropriate that the VA asks for. Typically, they'll ask for a DD-214, which is your military record. But you'll need to have that paperwork together, go to the VA with that, and then they will help calculate what you're eligible for. The best part of helping our veterans receive these benefits is the joy that comes from knowing that this is a game changer for them financially and also just emotionally and psychologically. It's just wonderful that they're able to get a benefit that makes a difference in their loved ones' lives. For more information and advice on caregiving, senior care, costs, and more, subscribe and visit our library of resources at aplaceformom.com/caregiver resources.